pull up a mat. The fire is lit. I'm the Hearth teller, and you're welcome here. Tonight, I want to take you to a place unlike any other in Sri Lanka. A mountain where silence seems to breathe. A forest so ancient that even the wind feels reluctant to disturb it. A place where kings, monks, and wanderers have all vanished into legend. Some say hidden treasures sleep beneath its stones. Others whisper that immortals once walked its shaded paths. And even today, there are those who believe the mountain guards secrets it has never allowed the world to uncover. This is the story of Ritigala. Far from the crowded temples and golden beaches, rising from the dry plains of north-central Sri Lanka, stands a mountain unlike any other. At first glance, it appears ordinary. Just another forest-covered peak. But appearances can be deceptive. As travelers climb higher, something strange begins to happen. The air cools. Mist gathers among the trees. Plants that should never grow in the dry zone suddenly appear. Rare herbs cling to moss-covered rocks. Ancient pathways disappear into the forest as if inviting only those the mountain chooses. It is almost as though the mountain lives in another world. For thousands of years, Ritigala has inspired all. Long before archaeologists arrived with notebooks and measuring tapes. Long before maps gave the mountain a name. People believed this was sacred ground. A place where the boundary between the human world and something far older became remarkably thin. Then there are the ruins. Hidden beneath thick jungle lie carefully laid stone pathways. Massive meditation platforms. Mysterious stone bridges. And silent reservoirs that have survived centuries. No grand palace. No towering monuments proclaiming the glory of kings. Instead, everything here speaks of solitude. Discipline. Silence. Who built this hidden sanctuary? And why does Ritigala continue to fascinate historians, pilgrims, and explorers alike? The answers are far more extraordinary than many realize. But to understand the mountain, we must travel back nearly 2,000 years. To a kingdom where Buddhism flourished. Where kings sought wisdom as eagerly as power. And where a remote mountain became the home of monks who wished to leave the world behind. Their story begins now. Thousands of years before explorers carved paths through this forest. Long before the mountain became the subject of whispered legends. Ritigala was already a place of quiet devotion. Hidden beneath its dense canopy stood one of the most remarkable forest monasteries in ancient Sri Lanka. Unlike the grand temples built to inspire crowds, Ritigala was never meant to impress. It was built to disappear. Here, monks sought something far more difficult than wealth or power. They sought freedom from desire itself. The mountain's cool climate, isolation, and silence made it the perfect refuge for those who wished to leave worldly life behind. As you walk through Ritigala today, the ruins still tell their story. Stone-paved paths wind through the forest. Massive granite meditation platforms remain where monks once sat in contemplation. Ingenious stone reservoirs collected precious rainwater. Bridges and terraces were built with extraordinary skill, yet everything blends into the landscape instead of dominating it. The builders seemed to believe that nature was not something to conquer, but something to live alongside. Archaeologists believe much of the monastery flourished during the ancient Anuradhapura period, with royal patronage helping it grow over centuries. Yet unlike bustling religious centers, Ritigala remained deliberately secluded. Its purpose was solitude. Its greatest treasure was silence. But history alone cannot explain why this mountain captured the imagination of generations. As centuries passed, stories began to grow around Ritigala. Some believed rare medicinal herbs, found nowhere else on the island, possessed remarkable healing powers. Others claimed mysterious lights appeared among the trees after sunset. Travelers spoke of an eerie stillness, a feeling that they were being watched by the mountain itself. Whether these tales were born from fear, faith, or the imagination of weary travelers, no one can say. Even today, Ritigala inspires the same quiet reverence. It is a place where archaeology and folklore stand side by side. And perhaps that is its greatest mystery. For when history leaves unanswered questions, legends are often waiting to fill the silence. In the next chapter of our journey, we step beyond the stones and into the world of myth, where Ritigala becomes more than a mountain, and its story reaches into one of Asia's greatest epics. History can tell us who built the stone paths. It can explain the ruins. It can uncover the lives of the monks who once walked these forests. But there are some questions that history cannot answer. And when certainty ends, legend begins. For centuries, Ritigala has occupied a special place in the imagination of Sri Lanka. Not merely as a mountain, but as a place touched by myth. One of the most enduring legends connects Ritigala to one of the greatest epics ever told, Ramayana. According to this ancient tradition, a great war raged across the lands of kings and gods. In the midst of that conflict, the warrior Lakshmana was struck down. His life hung by a thread. The only cure was a rare medicinal herb said to grow upon a sacred mountain far to the north. So Hanuman, the mighty monkey warrior, was sent to retrieve it. But when he reached the mountain, he could not identify the herb. Rather than risk choosing the wrong plant, Hanuman lifted the entire mountain and carried it through the sky. As he crossed the seas toward Lanka, fragments are said to have fallen from the mountain below. One of those fragments, according to local tradition, became Ritigala. It is a story that has been told for generations. A story woven into the identity of the mountain itself. And while there is no historical evidence that such an event occurred, the legend remains a cherished part of local folklore. Perhaps that is why Ritigala's unusual plant life has fascinated people for centuries. Even today, the mountain supports species rarely found in the surrounding dry plains. Its cooler climate creates a unique environment. To ancient observers, this must have seemed extraordinary. And extraordinary places often inspire extraordinary stories. But the legends of Ritigala do not end there. For hidden among Sri Lanka's folk traditions is another tale. A darker one. A story that transformed a warrior into a nightmare. Long before his name inspired fear, he was known as Ritigala Jayasena. According to Sinhala folklore, Jayasena was a powerful warrior. Strong, proud, and feared by his enemies. Some stories place him among the champions of ancient kings. Others paint him as a giant whose strength bordered on the supernatural. Whatever the truth may have been, one thing is certain. His name survived long after his death. The legend tells of a fierce challenge. A duel between Jayasena and another mighty warrior. A contest of strength and pride. Neither man would back down. The battle was brutal. And when it finally ended, Jayasena lay defeated. His life extinguished. But death was not the end of his story. For what happened next would transform him into one of the most feared beings in Sri Lankan folklore. The tale says that supernatural forces attempted to restore him to life. But something went terribly wrong. Unable to recover his head, they attached the head of a bear to his body. The result was neither man nor beast. A terrifying creature born of tragedy and fury. Thus, the warrior Jayasena became Mahasona, the great graveyard spirit. A being said to haunt lonely roads, cemeteries, and dark forests. For generations, parents warned their children about him. Travelers whispered his name only reluctantly. And exorcists developed rituals specifically intended to drive him away. Today, Mahasona remains one of the most recognizable figures in Sinhala folklore. Whether viewed as a spirit, a cautionary tale, or simply a product of imagination, his story continues to endure. And at the heart of that story stands a familiar name: Ritigala. Perhaps that is what makes this mountain so fascinating. History remembers the monks. Legend remembers Hanuman. Folklore remembers Mahasona. All three stories converge upon the same forested peak. A place where stone ruins stand among ancient trees. A place where fact and folklore have grown together for centuries. And as the sun begins to set behind the mountain, one final question remains. Why did Ritigala continue to inspire such powerful stories long after its monastery fell silent? To answer that, we must return to the mountain one last time. As daylight slowly fades across the forest, Ritigala begins to change. The pathways grow quieter. The shadows grow longer. And for a moment, it becomes easy to understand why this mountain has inspired wonder for thousands of years. Today, Ritigala is protected as both an archaeological site and a strict nature reserve. Its ancient monastery remains hidden beneath towering trees, while rare plants continue to thrive in a climate unlike the surrounding dry plains. Visitors who walk these stone paths often describe something difficult to explain. Not fear. Not excitement. But a profound stillness. A silence that feels almost alive. Perhaps it is simply the absence of the modern world. No traffic. No cities. No distractions. Only wind, stone, and time. Or perhaps every place remembers those who once walked there. The monks who sought enlightenment beneath these trees. The pilgrims who climbed the mountain in quiet devotion. The generations who carried its legends from one storyteller to the next. History gives us evidence. Archaeology gives us facts. But stories give places their soul. Whether you believe Ritigala was touched by Hanuman's mountain, whether you see Mahasona as a spirit, a warning, or simply a legend, or whether you believe the greatest mystery is the remarkable monastery hidden beneath the forest, one thing is certain. Ritigala has never been just another mountain. It is a place where history and imagination have lived side by side for centuries. And perhaps that is why no single explanation has ever been enough. Some mountains are climbed. Some mountains are studied. But a few are remembered. Not because they reveal all their secrets, but because they refuse to. The next time you find yourself standing before an ancient ruin, walking beneath towering trees, or listening to the silence of an old forest, ask yourself this: how many stories are hidden beneath your feet? And how many have simply been forgotten? If you've ever visited Ritigala, or if you've heard another legend connected to this mysterious mountain, share it in the comments below. Every story helps keep these traditions alive. And if you enjoyed this journey into one of Sri Lanka's greatest mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more forgotten legends, ancient history, and stories that still echo across Asia. Until then, keep the embers burning. I'm the Hearth Teller. Go well, my friend.